everyone, Jonathan here. Today we're just going to go through a couple things that were originally brushed off as being spiritual or woo-woo, and the people that came up with these ideas were originally thought to be crazy or just not treated with respect in society because they had beliefs that were just a little bit ahead of their time. And so listen up, and we'll go into the different things throughout history that actually were science that just hadn't been discovered, but it wasn't socially acceptable at the time. So starting off, I'll tell you like the reason why I'm actually going through this with you today is because I had a family member that decided that she wanted to set like a fake boundary with me about talking about certain things that were actually science-based, but she labeled them as philosophies and beliefs and then dismissed them. And so that's where this is coming from, is I just wanted to, share with you guys that not all science has been discovered yet. And so here are some solid examples that are from the past where something was just brushed off as woo-woo or spiritual. First one was actually hand washing. So it's, funny with COVID and everything going on that, we definitely realized that hand washing was important. And originally it started off in 1847 after Ignaz, I can't really pronounce his name, discovered that hand washing drastically reduced infection and death during childbirth. And his peers mocked him, said that it was offensive to doctors, and he was actually institutionalized. And then later on, of course, like germ theory confirmed that he was right, and then hand washing became a global protocol. Number 2, meditation and breathwork. So once it seemed like spiritual fluff, and now studied by Harvard, Stanford, UCLA, meditation lowers cortisol, it thickens the prefrontal cortex, improves sleep, and helps with PTSD. Breathwork is used by trauma therapists, veterans, and doctors to regulate the nervous system and the vagal tone. And number 3, acupuncture, mocked as an unscientific practice for decades, and now it's recommended by the Mayo Clinic and by WHO, the World Health Organization, for chronic pain, nausea, fertility, and stress. MRI studies show acupuncture stimulates neural regulation and modulates inflammatory pathways. Number 4, EFT tapping, which is emotional freedom technique. It's like a tapping technique where you can reprogram the subconscious mind. Once dismissed as weird or a placebo, it's now used by the VA system, trauma counselors, and therapists. APA recognized research shows EFT lowers cortisol, reduces anxiety, and improves emotional resilience. Studies are peer-reviewed and published. Number 5, sound therapy and binaural beats, which I'm sure some of you have tried before. Once seen as mystical, now it's used to calm the nervous system, promote theta brainwave states, and enhance memory consolidation. Clinic studies show benefits for anxiety, sleep disorders, and trauma, used in cancer recovery, addiction treatment, and even hospice care. Number 6, somatic therapy or body-based healing. So people were told trauma was just mental, and now researchers like Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, which wrote the book that you guys have probably heard about, or some of you have, The Body Keeps the Score. We know that trauma is held in the nervous system and body tissue, so therapies like somatic experiencing are used worldwide now. Number 7, women's hormones and emotional cycles. So women were once called hysterical for being emotional. Today, neuroscience validates how estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and the perimenopause affects moods, clarity, energy, and memory. Emotional intelligence isn't weakness, it's biology. Number 8, yoga. Once framed as cult-like or religious, now prescribed for arthritis, inflammation, PTSD, and cardiovascular health. Improves flexibility, blood pressure, and nervous system resilience, endorsed by doctors and used in pain clinics and trauma recovery. Number 9, chiropractic care. Ridiculed by mainstream doctors for decades, today it's a standard part of joint health, injury recovery, and postural support, especially for aging populations and caregivers, covered by insurance now. Number 10 is the placebo effect. Once mocked as fake healing, now one of the most studied and respected demonstrations of the mind-body connection. Our expectations and emotional state directly influence healing outcomes, proving belief alone has physiological power. So another example, some of you may know about natural medicine, but a lot of our modern day medicine actually came from different things in nature. So like aspirin came from willow bark, morphine came from opium poppy, penicillin came from mold, statins for cholesterol came from fungi, and what is it? It looks like a chemo drug, came from tree bark. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in there, maybe brushed off by some people as woo-woo or spiritual, but it's actually something that we developed our medicine from. And even things like sage, it has a chemical in it that causes the body to relax and the parasympathetic system to kick in. So think twice before you judge something as just being spiritual and woo-woo. Just because it hasn't been studied yet doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. And so a real skeptic says, that's unfamiliar. What is the evidence? Not that's unfamiliar, so I'll just label it as a belief and move on. So when someone refuses to research something but still feels entitled to dismiss it, that's not discernment. That is called intellectual and emotional avoidance. And when it happens in a relationship, it's not neutrality, that's erasure. And I hope that helps. If you like this video, well then like, subscribe, comment. This is new for me to post these videos and get out there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and have a good day.